So, Christie Sides and Caitlin Clark. This is a coach-player duo that we are going to remember right now, but it's not going to be there long-term. This is not going to be a long-term coaching player duo. Let's be completely honest. It's not going to be a long-term duo. Christie Sides doesn't have that much longer left with the Fever, and if she does, I don't know how much longer Caitlin Clark has left with the Fever. So before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 23.5k by the end of the day. We're trying to hit 24,000 subscribers by the break, which would be absolutely insane. But now we are going to be talking about this. And Caitlin Clark seems so frustrated with Christie Sides. It's not even funny. If you're watching games, you're seeing Caitlin Clark numerous times is walking to the bench and Christie Sides is shouting something at her. Caitlin Clark ignores her and Christie Sides just yanks her arm. She's subbing her out early in games and just going ballistic at her. And then you're even seeing, yesterday in the game, while the game's going on, Caitlin Clark, why are we on timeout? It's done. 8 points down, 17 seconds to go. And then Caitlin Clark, out of frustration, just chucks a turnover in the next possession. It is... she's so clearly done with Sides. Genuinely. She's just done with her. She's just done with her. And you can tell when somebody is doing stuff on the floor that their coach doesn't want them to do. And that's genuinely the case when you're looking at the Indiana Fever and you're looking at Caitlin Clark. She's out there playing, and when she's playing well, she's getting crucified by her coach. And when she's doing awful things on the floor, it's fine. When she's doing dumb stuff on the floor, like passing the ball to anyone not named Leah Boston, Christie Sides is fine with it. And when she's actually doing what's going to win, doing the things that are going to win them games, the two-man game, hitting wide open shooters and praying they score, driving to the basket, being strong, it's no, she's not happy with it. She's not happy with it at all. And look, it's not, even yesterday, when it comes to Christie Sides, there's no way Caitlin Clark is happy when Christie Sides ends the game with she has 3 timeouts left with 44 seconds to go, down 4, and she doesn't advance the ball. And then Caitlin is forced to basically run off a damn trap, run through, be a one-man press break, and then by the time she gets past the halfway line, turns and no one's running with her. Because they didn't draw up anything. They didn't draw up a press break. They didn't draw up anything. None of her team knew what was going on. She didn't. Caitlin Clark's just trying to run because she's being triple teamed and trying to run through a full court. Because Christie Sides wouldn't call a timeout to it. She wouldn't even call, what is it called again when they advance the ball? It's not a timeout. I don't even know what it's called, but they brought it into the league where you can advance the ball. And she wouldn't even call that. She ended the game with a bunch of timeouts, with 3 timeouts left. But no, she decided I'm gonna use just a timeout now with 17 seconds to go and the game's over. It does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. What Christie Sides is doing as far as a coach. And you can see the frustration. Even in the was it the Mystics game? Some of the times in plays, you're seeing Caitlin Clark just being wow. Or was it the Lynx game? I'm not sure. There was a game where down the stretch, Caitlin Clark is just no. Obviously the Chicago Sky game, they all just looked in shock at Christie Sides. But you can see it on the court. When Caitlin Clark is just playing free, there's no way Christie Sides is telling her to do that. When Caitlin Clark is at her best is when the team's not running an offense, they're just running. When she's either running the high pick and roll or when she's either running the high pick and roll or when she's running transition. It's the only 2 times she's really looked good. She's looked decent a couple of times off pin down. She got a really nice there was a good inbound play where she kind of came off a handoff from, was it Leah or Kelsey? She came off a handoff and hit 3. So there's the odd ATO play that she's running that's okay. But still, she's just so out of her depth. And even still, you don't end the game with that many timeouts when you're playing your star 40 minutes. If anything, just give them a breather timeout. Just give your team a breather. You don't need to use all of them at different stages, but even just use them for a breather. She's just terrible. She's so out of her depth. It's not even funny. She's just so out of her depth. And you can see Caitlin knows it. Caitlin played for Lisa Bluder. And look, Lisa Bluder's not this unbelievable... she's a very, very good basketball coach. But, she's not someone with the resume of a Gina Auriemma, a Dawn Staley, or, a Becky Hammond. But what Lisa Bluder was able to do was get all her team on the one page. She was a good player coach. She was good at dealing with Caitlin herself. And she completely changed how she coached the sport of basketball. And is like, okay, everything I know about this sport is not going to work with this player. Let me completely revolutionize the sport of women's basketball by running an offense around this generational point guard that I have, that I've been lucky enough to land because she was meant to go to Notre Dame and then decided not to. That is what Lisa Bluder did. It's not like Lisa Bluder, the Iowa had won all these national championships. But Lisa Bluder got a team with Caitlin Clark. I don't think, did they even have another top 50 recruit? Kate Martin, great role player. Gabby Marshall, a role player. And again, if Caitlin Clark's not there, there's a 0% chance we see Gabby Marshall, or we see, 0% chance we know who Gabby Marshall is, but there's also a 0% chance we see Kate Martin in the WNBA. There's a 0% chance Monica Sanano gets drafted last year. And I know she didn't make the roster, but still. That is kind of the level that she carried that team to. So, it is one of the things where it's I do think that and you need a new coach, whether it is, you just need someone. They need someone. And she can tell. She can 100% tell that Christie Sides isn't the coach. She's frustrated. Caitlin's annoyed. She's very clearly annoyed at this. And it doesn't help when Christie Sides is throwing her under the bus. She doesn't trust... that's the whole thing. And, that's the difference between the Fever and the Sky. Is you can tell everyone on that Sky team trusts Theresa Weatherspoon. Even in the interview where it sounded like Marina Mabry knew she was getting traded, Theresa Weatherspoon is still laughing and joking with her. Because, well, she wanted out. She got out. And in fairness, the Sky did pretty well out of it. So Theresa Weatherspoon's laughing and joking with Marina Mabry. This is a close team. Kennedy Carter, one of the biggest reasons why Kennedy Carter has been such a success is because there's now that trust. They've built up that trust now where they trust Kennedy and Kennedy trusts them, and Kennedy Carter's been one of the best guards in the league. Whereas when it comes to Christie Sides, you can see it. Nalissa Smith, when Nalissa Smith is having one of her off days, Christie Sides can't get anything out of her. I don't like what she's done with Christy Wallace either. I don't like freezing Christy Wallace completely out of the team. She's not good enough to start. Of course she's not good enough to start. She was a garbage starter. But come on, you can't tell me 5 minutes a game. You can't tell me she's worse than Erica Wheeler. You can't tell me that with the way Katie Lou Samuelson is playing right now, that you can't just at least play, instead of playing her 30, give her 20 and give Christy Wallace 10 and hope that one of them can shoot. But I don't particularly like that, which is crazy because Christy Wallace was one of the worst starters, but I don't think anyone wanted Christy Wallace to get no minutes. But at least Lexi Hull's starting to play now. She at least does something. But still, you've got a star player who is very clearly not happy with their coach. It's never going to end well. That scenario is never going to end well. And I cannot see Christie Sides staying there past this season. If they were smart, they'd fire her before the Olympic break so that they can, they can figure it out during the 1 month when they come back. They can figure it out in those 15 games with the new coach instead of trying to figure it out at the start of next season, but they're just not going to do that. Lynn Dunn's not going to do that.